This video is going to be for all the people who think that they are not on Medicaid when they actually are. I asked ChatGPT to give me a list of all the names that states use for their Medicaid. So make sure you guys like and favorite and share this post so we can make sure that all of our Republican families and friends are very well informed. First up, we have Alaska at Denali Care. Interesting. Then we have Arizona at Arizona Healthcare Cost Containment System. Doesn't sound like Medicaid, but it's Medicaid. Arkansas calls it Medicaid. California, Medi-Cal. Colorado, Health First Colorado. Connecticut, Husky Health. Still Medicaid. Delaware, Diamond State Health Plan. Florida, statewide Medicaid managed care. And you all in Florida have still lost your minds and you know you're on Medicaid. Georgia, Medicaid. Hawaii, MedQuest. Idaho, Medicaid Basic Plan. Illinois, Medical Assistance Program, branded Health Choice, also still Medicaid. Indiana, Hoosier Healthwise? Okay. Iowa, IA Health Link. Kansas, KanCare. KanCare is still Medicaid. So it looks like Kentucky, Louisiana, both Medicaid. Maine Care, still Medicaid. Maryland is Medicaid. Massachusetts, MassHealth. Michigan, still Medicaid. Yup. Minnesota Medicaid. Looks like Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, and Nevada. And New Hampshire, all Medicaid. New Jersey, NJ Family Care. I was on NJ Family Care at one point when I had my son. It was very helpful. I actually needed it. New York, Medicaid. North Carolina, Medicaid. Ohio, Medicaid. Oklahoma, Sooner Care. Oregon Health Plan. Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Medicaid. Tennessee, KanCare. We have Texas, Medicaid. Utah, Medicaid. Vermont, Medicaid. Virginia, Cardinal Care. Washington, Apple Health. West Virginia, Medicaid. Wisconsin, Badger Care. And Wyoming is Medicaid.
Hey, good morning. So by now we've all absorbed the fact that the big disastrous bill has passed. You know, we're all going to have to figure out how to deal with that because we'll all be impacted in some way, right? But I'm not here to gloat, but I kind of am. Because this morning, as I'm scrolling through various social media platforms, it's all the people that are just now finding out that they have Medicaid. It's all the people, for example, that didn't know that the Medicaid in their state was called something different. You know, like the ones who didn't realize that the ACA and Obamacare were the same thing. Yeah. So like, for example, in Kansas, it's called KanCare. In California, it's called Medi-Cal. In another state, I think it's like Idaho, Iowa. It's one of them, whichever the Hawkeyes are in. So it's called Hawkeye, right? Hawkeye Care or something like that. And now they're realizing that they're losing their health insurance and that health insurance was actually Medicaid. I don't know whether to feel sorry for these people or to just laugh at them. Because if you go over on Threads, Instagram, Facebook, all of these different social media platforms, you will see all these people, what the kids say, crashing out because they're just now realizing they're about to lose their health care. And they're upset because no one told them that it was actually Medicaid. This is going to be fun to watch. I mean, not like but I'm just saying, the realization that these people are getting is going to be fun to watch. Okay.
Touch Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. None of that stuff is going to be touched.
Nothing.
You don't have to. Here's what I want on Medicaid. We're not touching anything. We're not going to touch it. And I'm not going to cut Medicare or Medicaid. Save Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security without cuts. They're going to destroy our health care, but I'm going to save it all, and I'm going to save our country. That's what we're going to do.
What happens if it comes to your desk, has the tax cuts, but also cuts to Medicaid? Would you veto that?
Well, we're not doing that.
Would you
we're
veto
not,
that?
Next year or two, a lot of people are going to be finding out that they are, in fact, the welfare recipients that they've been railing against. And it's going to be a really hard lesson, and it sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a hard lesson. Hey, beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So, all credit goes to the creators in this video. So, guys, for many Americans, this lack of awareness has serious consequences. Many voters focused on political promises, right? Particularly all of them that supported Trump, and when he said he pledged not to cut Medicaid. And many may not understand that this coverage they rely on actually exists under a different name in their states. If you're one of these people, this video is for you, because the one big beautiful bill that passed, the legislation includes stricter requirements, work mandates, increased cost of enrollees, and more frequent eligibility checks. Instead of the 1 year, it's now 6 months. So these changes are projected to result in many Americans losing their health coverage over the next decade. I even think a decade is too long. Very, very soon. And why many of these beneficiaries, right, were under the impression that Medicaid will remain untouched. I mean, Trump said Medicaid will remain untouched. And the reality is that regardless of what Medicaid is being called in their states, they are now affected by these cuts. And the confusion, is compounded for many, because people might not even realize that their coverage is Medicaid, and it makes it difficult for them to recognize or respond to this new policy that threatens access to their health care. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep watching.
For a rude awakening when you realize that your United Healthcare card is Medicare and Medicaid. It's just being managed by United Healthcare. Y'all are really not realizing that you are in danger like everybody else. Just because you don't call it Medicaid don't mean it ain't Medicaid. KanCare, that's Medicaid. Medi-Cal, that's Medicaid. SoonerCare, that's Medicaid. BadgeCare, that's Medicaid. HealthLink, that's Medicaid. All of it is Medicaid. They just call it something different. Now, some states like Alabama just say Alabama Medicaid. Georgia, Peach Care, that's Medicaid. All of it is Medicaid. And sometimes Medicaid and Medicare plans are managed by bigger companies. So you might see Blue Cross and Blue Shield on your card, but it's actually still Medicaid or Medicare. So don't be up here on your high horse thinking you won't fall, because, baby, you're going to be out there trying to do some herbal remedies yourself when you lose your health care. Do not, and I repeat, do not get way too comfortable or stick your nose so far in the air, because it might...
Voted to cut Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP benefits. And literally, it's just a tax break for the billionaires. The people who are already wealthy, they're just going to be making more money, while people who make like less than $50,000 a year are going to actually be making less money. Like, my thing is, if there's the 1% who is extremely wealthy and is hoarding all of the wealth, and then everyone else is just, living paycheck to paycheck, or everyone is just, trying to get by, are these like billionaires and like company owners and CEOs not aware? Like, if you guys are hoarding all the wealth, like, nobody's going to be able to afford shit from you guys. Like, if Medicare gets cut, Medicaid and SNAP, and people have to come out of pocket to pay for all of those things that they actually had the benefits for, then they're not going to be able to afford all the other capitalistic shit. So, like, these companies aren't going to be actually getting the money that they think they're going to be getting. Like, I kind of think that this is going to be backfiring because people are not going to be able to afford shit from these large companies. They're just going to get the basic things that they need because now they're being literally forced to pay for things that they had the benefits to cover. Because now all of a sudden we're just going to get rid of a bunch of benefits so then the extremely wealthy people can earn more money per year. That doesn't make any fucking sense. But the thing is, I feel like it's just going to be their karma because no one's going to be buying shit from any of these large companies. Anyone who's hoarding the wealth is not going to be getting any more wealth because you guys are hoarding it all, number one. And number two, nobody literally can't afford to buy any more of your shit. It's not even like they're choosing not to, like a boycott. It's like they actually can't afford to do that. So, but yeah, that should be interesting to see. But it's still horrible that
Healthcare is a fundamental human need. It's not a luxury and it's not a negotiable item that should even be put in the federal budget. That's what I think. And in any society, regardless of political ideology, ensuring access to healthcare should be a top priority. Because cutting programs like Medicaid, right, which provides essential medical coverage to millions of vulnerable people, has consequences far beyond numbers. And these are real people. These are children that need vaccinations. These are families that are struggling with chronic illnesses. These are seniors, right? Old people that rely on routine care to maintain quality of life, just to stay alive. And this bill, cutting trillions from federal programs, puts this healthcare at risk for millions of Americans. And even those that were unaware that their state-specific programs like Medi-Cal are actually Medicaid. Okay? People are losing access to life-saving care. And I believe that in a society that values its citizens, healthcare should not be something to, weigh or balance the budget against, because it's the foundation of productivity and even security. Because cutting funding just sends a message that maybe some lives are more expandable than others. And guys, millions of people are not aware that these programs that they rely on are Medicaid, and they are also at risk of losing access to basic health care.
Did you know that 20% of Americans get Medicaid and that it's not called Medicaid in every state? 78 million people get Medicaid. 98% of nursing homes are funded by Medicaid. So if you have mama or papa come live with you, you know why. Here is a list of names of Medicaid in various states. In Georgia, Medicaid is called medical assistance. In Alaska, Medicaid is called Denali Care. In Kentucky, it's called Kentucky Medicaid. In Arkansas, Medicaid is simply called health care. In the red state of Tennessee, it's called KanCare. Did you know that Medicaid is mostly for children? And in red states, it's also for people who don't get health insurance at their job. Drop me the name of your state and I will tell you the name of your Medicaid. How many MAGAs you think have Medicaid and they don't know it? It's 1 in 5, 78 million. And right now, that's what they're cutting, that big, beautiful
long-term care. I am the assistant director of nursing at a behavioral health facility, and I would say that about 98% of our residents are Medicaid or Medicare recipients. So of course I have been thinking nonstop about all of the cuts that have been made, because not only will I be impacted, but I also have, over 100 residents to think about, and it is absolutely devastating. But someone had mentioned today that there was an article that had us listed as one of the facilities that would be on the chopping block if these cuts do the damage that they anticipate that they will do. It is estimated that there are about 57,000 people currently living in nursing homes in my state. Where are those people supposed to go? Many of them came in from the streets. Those that didn't, they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have family to live with, or they'd be there now. There are approximately 703 certified nursing facilities in my state, and 579 of them are on this list of being at risk to close due to these cuts. 57,000 people at risk in one state, And that doesn't even count the people that are living at home, should be in a nursing home, will have no opportunity to go to one. That doesn't even count all the people that have been denied and that are sitting in hospitals waiting. That doesn't count all the people that have private insurance or could be private pay, but there's not going to be any facilities to house them. What are we going to do for our elderly and disabled? Like, this stuff keeps me up at night.
I just had a patient say to me, thank God Trump was elected and we can get rid of this stupid Obamacare and go back to the ACA. Oh, I love being in my reputation era while they're in there. Fuck around and find out.
Guys, unfortunately, this FAFO will just lead to a lot of unaliving, because healthcare is not a luxury. It is not a luxury. I mean, it's just a basic human need, okay? But this bill is making it seem as if it's a luxury. These are people's lives, and many Americans voted for promises that the Medicaid will be protected. I mean, many of them actually voted because they felt Medicaid will be protected. And now they are finding out that the system that they depended on has let them down. They are finding out that this same system of healthcare that they depended on is being slashed. Guys, healthcare cannot be optional. I mean, it's not even something that should be put for debate. It must be safeguarded. It must be valued, because it's just the foundation of a functioning society. I need to know your thoughts in the comments about this. Let me know what you think, and what is Medicaid called in your state. Let me know your thoughts. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.